Hi, my name is Eli Chapman from Celtra. I lead enterprise strategy and sales out of New York. And I'm excited to take you through a webinar today on tackling unexpected new content demand, something we are all faced with in this new reality. We all are seeing the newest content challenges. There's this ever increasing amount of demand for content. It's expensive to scale it. There's a slow and cumbersome process around creating it. Sometimes it can lead to generic templated experiences. And there's also those risks of inconsistent design down the production line. And it's not just the challenge we see within creative ops at the base level. It's exacerbated today based on COVID-19 and the new reality we're faced. And when you think about part of the problem is that the challenge is we've been creating things in a fairly traditional way for a long time. But back when we had all the time and the resources to sit around the table, we weren't disintermediated by technology. We had the luxury of thinking about a big idea and coming up with a big campaign. We weren't distracted on all the different levels and the work from home reality. We could sit there and come up with a pass the Heinz kind of an idea, something big that worked for print, that worked for TV, or even for a website at one point in time. But now we're all working from home, and we're disintermediated through various asynchronous and synchronous ways to communicate. This is a screenshot of me and some team members just today while collaborating. It is a much different reality. We all have a lot on our plates and a lot on our minds, and it's really difficult to be an effective creative and operations person and a marketer in this. So we've seen this exacerbated by having the content that people are producing is now from many different channels, different sizes, could be for different markets. You have different messages across audiences that you're trying to talk to. There could be personalization efforts, which are further increasing the amount of creative needed. And then you have the content demands across scaling dimensions, from channels and sizes to designs to the actual content variations, and possibly across languages and markets. This just creates an enormous challenge for creative operations teams. And we've seen the volume of content needed to produce just increase dramatically with no end in sight, for new products that are being launched, for new campaigns that have to get out the door, because you have new data signals you want to leverage, for new channels as they emerge, or because they become more relevant, or more formats that you want to produce for. But meanwhile, production resources typically have stayed flat, maybe with a little increase or sometimes with a decrease. And what we at Celtra have called this is the content gap. It's that delta between the resources you have and all of the things you need to make across all of the jobs that are coming in. And you feel that pressure from the content gap in a number of ways. Organizationally, you'll feel it from the pressure from marketing teams and media teams within the creative operations team in terms of the speed you need to deliver, the quality and quantity of what you need to deliver. It could be the regionalization or global to local challenges. Maybe you're creating assets centrally, but your local teams aren't getting what they need because their media plans or their cultural markets require something different. And there's, of course, that creative challenge. You have less time to influence consumers and your audience than ever. People are just busy, and how do you make a difference? And creative challenges is bigger than ever for all marketers. So this challenge, the content gap plus COVID-19, be global crisis ready to collaborate and deliver creative faster than ever. This is the challenge we are all faced with today. It's the new reality that's exacerbated by this pandemic. And we want to talk today about how Celtra's creative operations team customers are using creative automation to tackle unexpected content demand. So I'm going to take you through a few examples of how these are done. Please note we've used a brand called Hannah, which is a cosmetics brand, beauty brand, that Celtra's created for the purposes of demo and webinars to replicate just different workflows and customer situations and demonstrate it. So you'll see assets from Hannah. So first challenge to talk about is the shift from brand campaigns towards e-com only activity. Obviously, e-commerce the number one priority right now for most marketers and for consumers. And so in this, you'll see on the right some original brand creative of Lip Lux is the content I'm talking about. Well, what we're really trying to do is swap out some images to move more towards a product call to action and get in a specific free shipping kind of call to message that the local e-com team can use, right? So here the solution, creative automation, allows for that quick setup of a new campaign, but the reuse of those brand assets and the content feeds to launch that new or iterate that existing campaign quickly. So quickly allows you to swap out imagery, move from a brand image to a product image, allows you to swap out that call to action from a learn more to a shop more, or even add in a new graphic element, allows you to add new layers and nuance of messaging. In addition, it allows you to expand to new channels. So you might have some assets live on your own site or within display, for example, and you want to go into Facebook or Instagram because now your e-com team is requesting assets for that. Easy way to do this. Creative automation allows you to shift those brand assets that were already ready for one channel, now make them into e-com assets ready for a new channel. All right, another customer example was the immediate change of creative messaging on live creative. So here we have on the original lifestyle creative, you see in the Hannah hardworking hair care, someone on a commuting on the subway or on a train, holding on to the rail. Obviously not the image you want to use right now. So the brand is swapping to a different color, a different model, and their message isn't hardworking hair care, it's keeping hair healthy, right? So here, creative automation allows for real-time adjustments of any creative element at any point in time. So your campaign is live, your hardworking hair care is out there, and now all of a sudden work from home, stay at home, shelter in place, all of these changes are rolling out, and teams need to be agile and make those rapid changes. You don't necessarily need to pause everything. You can actually go ahead, make changes on creatives, do an internal approval and review workflow on those, and then push those live across a campaign. So altering imagery or copy without having to start that production process all over. This isn't a brand new set of creatives when you're using creative automation. Those keeping hair healthy, those are just a swap against the template where you're changing background, you're changing colors, you're swapping out a model, you're changing your copy. You don't have to do it one by one. You can do it across masters. Let automation help. That batch editing of creatives is incredibly useful for fast, rapid changes across a campaign, and can even be done across hundreds or thousands of ads in just a couple hours. All right, another challenge here is the reality of having to proactively now create some templated product master or libraries that you can use for different content situations. It could be for a particular product that's might come into demand based on a season or based on COVID-19 and the new consumer reality, and you want to have that ready to be able to roll out when the teams need it. It could be that you want to have different sales because you've got product challenges. Maybe manufacturing is no longer shipping to retailers, but it's shipping into your e-com teams. So your e-com team is saying, hey, I need flexibility on what products I sell. I need a change of messaging available. Here with creative automation, allows you to create a set of agile and flexible creative templates for those scenarios. So you can proactively be prepared. You can produce engaging and powerful creative templates. You can do the review and approval without leaving the platform, avoiding the emails and back and forth. It allows you to distribute new creative from those templates, and even allows for the local customization. So in other words, you could have a centrally created set of templates around a set of products. An e-com team can now take that centrally created team, and I'm a local market e-com team. I want to push out a specific offering in my market because of availability of a product. All I'm changing is the product and the call to action. I'm using some of the key imagery and graphics that have been laid out and designed pixel perfect from that central team. And we've seen customers just reduce time 80% on those global to local kinds of use cases from creative automation. So proactive use of templates in this time where you need rapid responses. Okay, another example is a campaign is on hold due to the previously designed content not matching today's consumer realities. In this use case, you've got brand creatives out in market, or a brand creative toolkit that's been produced. You've had a new product launch coming, and but it was a brand campaign that was coming. Now you really want to change it to be more driving to e-com. You have to you want to change the product messaging. Here you've got luxury hair care within reach. Well, now it's about home or hygiene or health, and it's stay home, stay safe, stay beautiful. You're adjusting creative concepts, you're altering master templates to swap out the content, and those are changes that can be done instantaneously. Customers are using creative automation here to change copy or assets on existing creatives within these toolkits within minutes. They're able to alter creative masters to support new assets, meaning indoor versus outdoor, or illustration versus a graphic approach, or swapping photography and video. Lastly, another challenge we're seeing is maintaining and improving the production timeline and the workflow, despite the fact that we're all working remotely. This is obviously going to depend on your organization and how fast your organization has been to support remote work from a tool standpoint or from a licensing standpoint. What we've seen with our customers is that creative automation has really helped support collaboration across both small and large teams, both teams that were concentrated in one market or teams that were multi-stakeholder across many, many markets. It's fully supported remote work. It's cloud-based software that many different teams and stakeholders, internal and external, can use without needs to expand licensing. It provides for streamlined collaboration for that review and approval workflow across the different cycles, and responsiveness for different sizes and all the variants that you might need for messaging that works for today's reality. And it's got that centralized library of the content that we talked about, letting teams access everything from all over the world as the creative operations team sees fit. I'm Eli Chapman from Celtra, and please reach out for any comments and questions.